Today we're going to replace the electronic throttle body on this GM 3.5 liter, which is actually installed in a 2006 Chevy Impala for this application. So you can see this is a brand new, never installed, not remanned unit. Now it's going to come with 2 bolts already installed here, and it's going to come with a new O-ring seal which mounts it up against the upper intake plenum. There's 2 studs on the bottom which the coolant tubes are bolted to. So I'm going to have to remove the nuts there, and then we'll remove those studs after we set it out of the way. So, assuming we've gone through the proper diagnosis and come to the definite conclusion that we need to replace the electronic throttle body, first thing I'm going to do is remove the air inlet here. So I'll just remove the 2 clamps. And again, I could just slide it off the one, but I'm going to get it completely out of the way. In some cases, you might even choose to remove the air box just to get a little better access and maybe some more room to the throttle body itself. But in this case, I can kind of squeeze it, get it up out of the way. Gives me much better access. And so I'm going to use a pick to release the lock in the electrical connector. I'll disconnect the electrical connector. I'll take my 10mm socket here with a ratchet and remove the 2 bolts on the top. I'm going to remove the 2 nuts on the bottom here and slide these coolant tubes out of the way, remove those studs out of the way, and we'll get the old throttle body off the vehicle. All right, so I've got those top 2 bolts loose. The bottoms, the studs actually stayed there, but the nuts came off. So I could gently set aside the coolant tubes and then remove the other 2 nuts there. So this thing should be ready to slide off now. And there we go. And you'll notice there's quite a bit of coking in here, and this thing's very sticky in binding up, hence the problem we were getting. There were actually some motor fault codes stored in the PCM in this one. So it was a pretty clear-cut indication that we had a problem with the throttle body. Now it's always very important as we're going to install our new throttle body to inspect the original pigtail. These are very sensitive circuits, and so in some cases it's 100% necessary, but it's always best practice to go ahead and replace the pigtail. These are available here. You can see it comes with the connectors and about 1 foot worth of lead, and so you can make a nice connection down below here and eliminate where this thing might flex as the engine moves. I've seen way too many of these things cause circuit codes or throttle position error codes due to the flexing of this harness here. Now we didn't have that issue in this particular car. So I'm simply going to take a rag and I'm going to ensure that we've got a clean mounting surface here. Don't have to scrape it in this case. And so then I will take my new throttle body with the new O-ring on it. We'll line it with the studs here and we'll get it slid into place. There, once it's slid into place, I can tighten my bolts. I'll install the nuts, reinstall the coolant tubes, and we'll pick it up from there. All right, so I've got this thing bolted up. I've got the nuts in place, reinstalled the coolant tubes here, and I've decided to go ahead and just replace this harness as well. You know, it is truly best practice here. So I've replaced it, done 1 by 1 with the wires here, and you know, we'll connect it in here, lock it in place, reinstall the air boot here, and it's important to make sure that I get this properly sealed. We're going to have these clamps tightened down properly. We don't want any leaks between the throttle body and the mass airflow here, or that could cause some sort of erroneous readings and fuel trim changes. So now that we've got the physical bolting and unbolting part of this done, we're not done yet. We need to go into the PCM, clear out the previously set trouble codes, and really clear all retained memory here. Hopefully now you understand what it takes to replace the electronic throttle body on a GM 3.5 liter engine.